Hey folks, Crimson Blaze here. Welcome to the channel. I am back on trail for another backpacking adventure, and this weekend I find myself in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm going to be spending 3 days and 2 nights out here, and really I'm on the search. I'm on the search for a great campsite. So I've been watching a guy called Backpacking with Buckley, and he has a ton of great videos about the Black Hills and the Badlands. And he had this epic campsite here in this area, and I am on the hunt for that campsite. I'm gonna set up a base camp there, and then I'm gonna do some hiking in the area over the next couple days. So let's go get hiking. So I believe it's up here somewhere. It's not like a trail that you can get to up there. I think you just have to know that it's up there. So once I find it officially, I'll drop the coordinates below, so you can walk right to it. But what I did was I just found the highest little peak of where Buckley told me it would be at. And so it should be around here somewhere. Oh yeah, okay. I see my trees. So, nice flat area. What an amazing view. And Mount Rushmore. All right, let me set up camp and then we can explore this area a little bit more. So I used my measure tape app to find the distance between my trees, and that came out to be a little over 16 feet. And then I put that in my Ultimate Hang app, and that came in to be around 5.7 feet. And that seems to be right on the money as I'm sitting very comfortably in my hammock. But let me tell you a little bit about this trip. I'm going to be out here for 3 days and 2 nights, and this is going to be my base camp. So I'm going to stay here for 2 nights. And today, I'm just going to relax, continue to set up my camp, and then just enjoy the beauty. As you saw as I was coming in, the peaks of the Black Elk Wilderness. I can see Mount Rushmore from here, so that is super awesome. And I'm just going to relax for the rest of this afternoon. Tomorrow is going to be my big day. Tomorrow is going to be where I'm going to hike the Horsethief Lake Loop trail. And it's, I think, a little under 10 miles. It's going to take me about a mile and a half to connect with that trail. So I'm going to do that early tomorrow. And then on Sunday, I'm just going to head out early and then start heading home. But it is June 21st. It is the first day of summer, the summer solstice. And today is the day that has the most daylight of any calendar day of the year. And so it's not going to get dark until much later. But I'm really looking forward to this trip. I've heard a lot of amazing things about the Black Hills. Just with kind of these rock spires and rock peaks and this beautiful forest, this beautiful smelling, wonderful smelling pine forest. It just has looked beautiful as I was driving in. So I'm really anxious to do my hike tomorrow. But right now I'm just going to finish setting up my camp and then just kind of relax a little bit and explore the top of my mountain. All right, see you in a bit. Now let me show you around camp a little bit. So I love this area where you can just kind of, walk around. It's flat up here. And then these views, right? Oh man, what these beautiful views. And I believe the sun's gonna set over there. So that's gonna be pretty special tonight. But these are some of the peaks of the, I believe it's the Black Elk Wilderness I'm in. And then of course, you got Mount Rushmore. How cool is that? So this this campsite is only a third of a mile from the trailhead. So I parked at the Iron Mountain picnic area and started at that trailhead. And that trail is the Centennial Bypass 89B, I believe. And then I only walked in about a third of a mile from there and then headed straight up. Like I said, I'll put the coordinates below and kind of a picture of where this is at. But this is a really cool campsite. So now I'm just kind of, climbing over little boulders here and checking out the other side of my camp. So you can see I'm kind of up here a little bit. But it is beautiful. I'm just relaxing here at my campsite, waiting for the sun to set behind the mountains. And it's just been a wonderful, wonderful day. I only hiked in 0.3 miles from the trailhead. In fact, I'm so close to the trailhead, I even walked back to my truck because I have a cooler with ice. And I wanted to put some ice in my water. So I went back and did that. And yeah, it's really been a really easy, relaxing day. Well, that's gonna do it for day one. I'm just sitting here watching the lighting ceremony on Mount Rushmore, and it's pretty cool. I don't think it will come out too well. I do need a telephoto lens as part of my camera collection, but just sitting here, it's pretty awesome. And Buckley was right. This is an epic campsite. I can see Black Elk Peak, I can see Elkhorn Mountain, and obviously Mount Rushmore. And it's just a great site up here. But I think that's going to do it for tonight, and I will see you in the morning. Morning, folks. It is day 2 and I am back on the trail. It is an early start this morning as the birds were just singing around 4 o'clock and woke me up. And then I kind of gradually got out of my hammock around 5 and enjoying the sunrise on Mount Rushmore and Black Elk Peak. And it's just been a beautiful, beautiful morning. But yeah, I wanted to get an early start on the trail today. It's around 6 a.m. I'm supposed to get around 90, so I thought I would get off to an early start. So let's go hit the trail. Like I mentioned yesterday, I am doing the Horsethief Lake Loop trail. And it's around 11 miles. But first I have to hike about 1.5 miles on the Centennial Bypass 89B trail to hook up with it. So that's the trail I'm on right now, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. But it's blue skies, no clouds, so I think we're going to have some good weather for this hike. Looks like we're coming up with our junction of the Horsethief Lake Loop trail, I'm imagining. Yeah, which is also the Centennial Trail. So the Centennial Trail is a long distance trail in South Dakota. It's over 100 miles. I don't think it's 200. I'll drop down below exactly the distance of it. But it seems pretty cool. I mean, you hike through Wind Cave National Park. You hike through Custer State Park. You're hiking among a lot of the bison that roam in the area. So it does seem like a pretty cool hike, and maybe one that I'll do here in the near future. Little spur trail. I think, yep. Get a nice little view of Mount Rushmore. That's pretty cool. Here we are, Grizzly Creek. It's like a nice flowing creek. Good spot for a second breakfast. I'm about 2 miles now into the Horsethief Lake Loop, and this is the first good water source that I've found. It's Grizzly Creek, and I thought it'd be a good time to have second breakfast. And this is the first good water source that I've had since my camp, which is about 3.5 miles back. So I'll load up on some water, just chug some here, and then get some for the rest of my hike. Well, I think I'm at the last, at least reliable water source before I get back to camp. And I still may be, 3, maybe 4 miles from camp. Not sure, I mean, check the map. But I'm probably gonna load up here. So I'm gonna have lunch, just camel up on water, fill up all of my capacity, which is what, 3, 4, almost 5 liters. So that should be good for the rest of the day, the afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow morning. But I found a nice little shady spot as it's starting to heat up out there. Luckily, most of this trail is in the woods. It's in a nice, nice forest. So that's been pleasant. I just, just afraid I'm not going to get water further on down. Because I think this is the Grizzly Creek. When I'm checking the map, it seems like this is every time I pass by a major one, this is Grizzly Bear Creek. And it seems to always be reliable. So that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here, chill out in the shade, have some lunch, and then get back on the trail. Here we are. We have completed the loop. Yep, Centennial Bypass, trail number 89B. Whew, pretty good loop, definitely a fun loop to do. I would recommend. It had beautiful wildflowers, and I loved hiking in it in the early morning when that kind of golden morning sunlight kind of goes through the trees. I liked walking among the rock spires and all the cool rock formations. You got views of Mount Rushmore, some views of just other rock peaks around. But it's a fun hike. It really is. What I would say is I wouldn't come here backpacking just to do this trail. I came here backpacking for that campsite. So that's why I planned this backpacking trip. Not necessarily for this loop, but for that campsite. Well, I am back at camp and resting in the shade. I'm not resting in my hammock because when I got back, I saw that my tarp was all torn up. And it was old. It was 7, 8 years old, and I could tell that the ends were kind of getting stressed a little bit. And I pitched it before I left because I normally like to keep my hammock in the shade, all my gear in the shade, and I don't want birds pooping on it or just sticks and stuff falling on my hammock. So I normally do set up my hammock, but that wind must have just tore it up. So I'm not lounging in my hammock because it's not in the shade. But I got my camp chair here. I find me a nice spot in the shade just to rest. But that was a bummer. That really is a bummer. I loved that tarp, so I'll be in the market for a new one. All right, folks, it is dinner time as I enjoy one last evening with this just amazing view of the Black Elk Peak, the Elkhorn Mountains, and Mount Rushmore. It's just great dinner spot. And in honor of Buckley, who helped me find this spot, I'm going to cook a meal that I saw him do at this camp spot. It involves some meatballs. Now, I've had these meatballs. I just didn't know what to do with them or really how to prepare them. And what I saw him do is he put this bag in a pot of boiling water and just heat them up, right? Because they're not raw. You don't need to cook them. He was just heating them up in this bag. And then what he did, which I thought was genius, is he put them in a bag of Fritos. And these are some of my favorites, the flavor twist honey barbecue. And he poured the heated meatballs and the sauce into the bag, and then I saw him eating out of the bag. I'm like, that looks awesome. So in honor of Buckley and this campsite and my last night dinner here, we're gonna try that out. Pretty good. Yeah. Love it. Thanks, Buckley. Well, that meal is definitely a winner and one that I will repeat again. It was awesome. I really did. Really loved it. And it tasted amazing. I love the meatballs and I love those honey barbecue Frito, the flavor twist. But I think the thing that sold me on was the meat sauce. So the meat sauce is like seeping in around and all the Fritos. And so even if you're not getting a bite of meatball, it has that meat sauce flavor, and it was just it was excellent. So I really enjoyed that. Well, that's gonna do it for day 2. Now I'm just gonna sit here and relax and watch the sun set over Mount Rushmore one more night. So I will see you in the morning. Morning, folks. It is day 3 and it has been a windy night, a windy morning, and the weather doesn't look so great. I checked the forecast and it said no chance of showers, clear skies, but that is obviously not the case. But yeah, the weather, as you can see, is kind of taking a turn a little bit. But yeah, yesterday morning I woke up to birds chirping, the sunrise, woodpecker, and now I wake up to this. So since I don't have a tarp and I do feel a little bit of sprinkling, I think I'm just going to pack up, head on out. It's only 5 o'clock in the morning, but I only have a third of a mile to get to my truck, and I'm just not quite sure what this weather is going to do. All right, folks, I am back on trail and only a third of a mile to hike. But yeah, that wind's not so bad down here when I'm now down in the trees, but that wind woke me up probably 3 o'clock in the morning, and then it just really didn't stop, and so I didn't get to really enjoy a breakfast with the sunrise on Mount Rushmore. But that's okay. I was able to do that yesterday. Instead, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to head to the Mount Rushmore monument. I mean, how can I be this close and not stop by? So I think they open up early. So I'm going to get to my truck, put on some clean clothes that I have packed away in my truck, and then we're going to head towards the monument. All right, hope to see you there. Now I'm doing the Presidential Trail. I think it's a little under a mile. They call it strenuous. I think there's some steps involved, but I think Crimson Blaze can handle it. It is awesome being out here all by myself on this trail and just enjoying the monument here. It's pretty cool. Well, that's going to do it for this backpacking trip. All I have left are about 425 steps back up to the main terrace, and I thought this would be a great place to end my video. And it's been a great trip, and shout out to Buckley for that campsite. It was truly epic campsite, one of my best, with the views of the Black Elk Peak, the Elkhorn Mountains, and Mount Rushmore. That was truly special. And then to end it here, you know, at Mount Rushmore itself, and really having it all to myself, that has been really special. But it's time for me to wrap it up. So thanks for watching, and until my next adventure, keep on blazing.